What up? Oh man, oh man. Damn. Sounds like somebody died upstairs. Upstairs. Okay. All right. Well, first time doing a live here. So I don't really think I'm gonna wait for anybody. I think I'm just gonna start playing this, honestly. Might hear a couple snap, crackle, and pops. It's not the tracks. At least, I don't think it is. After all the work I put into them. But yeah, it would be my internet if that's the case. Anyways, I'm gonna mute my mic now and just kind of play the first track, and then I'll talk about some of the lyrics. And then for anybody that joins, they join. For anybody that doesn't, you can watch this after the fact.
it finally gonna win? Is it gonna end? Am I gonna break? Is it gonna mend? Some things are better left unsaid, leaving me so stuck in my own head, stuck in my head.
All right. So I hope everybody liked that. That's the first track off the EP called Impact Sounds. EP is Impact Sounds, song is Impact Sounds. Yeah, I mean, it made sense for G to title this too. I mean, she really was the focal point for a lot of the content, honestly, for this. So, yeah, I mean, taking it from the top as far as like what that song is about, it didn't really start by being about G in some way. It more so started with just having enough self-awareness to realize that, you know, the corporate realm kind of shapes people. The corporate job type of, 9-to-5 type of job kind of shapes people for better or for worse. But I don't know. I guess recently I've just been kind of leaning towards worse for myself. And so that hence the chorus, what the world did to me. And it's not like such a self-loathing song as much as it is like, like I said, just kind of having that, just that realization and self-awareness enough to realize that, yeah, business isn't always, I guess, I don't know. Business isn't always a very peaceful environment. It isn't. It's sometimes cutthroat, even in the smallest of companies. And, it's not that I've done anything horrible in my career by any means. And I'm not like this cutthroat animal. But, I just thought it was a relatable enough concept to elaborate further on. So yeah, I mean the lyrics kind of go, you can't see. Am I too much or not enough? Always looking for something else to soothe the pain. Oh, it'll be that way till the end of my days. Hey, I actually have somebody that joined. Holy hell. Hello. We just listened so far to Impact Sounds, just the first track. And kind of just going over the lyrical content and, Okay. Anyways, yeah. So onward, it goes on to feeling this till the end of my days, living life to the edge of my pain. Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty sad track. But experimental side. I've never written a song. This was my first song really that I kind of wrote it all on the computer. So I didn't, organically pick up a guitar and I was like, oh, okay, this is what the song is going to be. Now I want to record it. This was my first track where I kind of looked at the computer as my mechanism to create said song. Started out with the beat. That was kind of an interesting beat at first, but it really got much more interesting to my ears when I just really took it and wrenched a decapitator on it. So I really threw a lot of distortion on it, and it cuts through the mix a decent amount too because of that. And it stays pretty steady too throughout it. I mean, literally there's nothing that changes really about that beat throughout the track. Really just the intro, actually, there's a subtle little change, but yeah, I mean, it's not really about the beat though. For this one, it's not really about the beat. It's more so about the lyrical content. It's about the melody. And I do think the chorus is interesting with the drop deep bass. So yeah, I mean, not to get too nerdy on all of the technical side of it, but that's pretty much how this started, and yeah, and how this finished. So I guess I'll move on to the next track, All the Same. So I hope you guys enjoy this one.
Know what's caused this, or who's to blame. Take back what I said, 'cause I love you all the same. Take you just about anyway. Anyway. Tell me one, tell me none, tell me something. They tell me take a little pill, but they're just bluffing now. If they were ever in my shoes, they wouldn't be doing me like that. If they were ever in my shoes, they wouldn't be doing me like that. I think I've been here once before. Running around, I hate this all the more. Don't know what's closest or who's to blame. Take back what I said, 'cause I love you all the same. I take you just about anyway. I'm waiting to feel myself rise again, with an ache in these bones, an ache in these bones. Waiting to feel myself rise again, an ache in these bones, an ache in these bones. Don't know what's caused us or who's to blame. I take back what I said, 'cause I love you all the same. I take you just about anyway. Anyway.
That is the track All the Same, second track off the EP. So I guess I'll start with the lyrical content for this guy. This is pretty much... This track is entirely written, honestly, for G. For anybody that's kind of followed my fiance throughout these past couple months, she was recently diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease, and that's just kind of been a struggle for, honestly, the past 5 years. So yeah, definitely has been a struggle in our household. So I guess the lyrics, it reads, "Don't know what's caused this or who's to blame. Take back what I said, because I love you all the same. Because I take you just about any way." So a lot of people that are going to hear this song at first, I think, are probably going to be a little bit confused, because the verses are clearly not about love, and the chorus kind of feels like it is. So I mean, this is just one of the things that she said over the years, that she felt that, because she's always been somebody that's battled depression as well, and she's just kind of felt that what she's going through now with Lyme, she was like, shit, I take back my depression brain over Lyme any day, pretty much. And that's kind of what the lyrics in the chorus are saying. Because she would talk not necessarily bad about herself, but she didn't ever think that things could get worse. And depression's definitely, being a bystander watching her go through depression, it's definitely not something I really wish upon my worst enemies. And now watching her go through Lyme, it's a bad time. It looks like a really bad time, and I just feel really freaking bad. So that's where a lot of these lyrics stem from, as well as, I kind of have a little bit of anger towards the medical field for this one, because there was about 5 years, maybe 4-ish years of her battling with Lyme disease, and no doctors really knowing what to do, just kind of passing it off. Oh, take an antibiotic, it'll fix your situation. And yeah, that was just kind of pretty painful to watch that, and then finally get a diagnosis that, you could have gotten 5 years ago had the medical industry not failed us. Because yeah, she got bit and we went to an immediate care together, and they were like, you're probably fine. And then they're like, spiders can cause the same exact type of looking bite. So honestly, at the end of the day, love yourself, have faith in yourself that, you're going to pull through what you're going through, and trust your gut. That's kind of the moral of what I've taken from watching this from my perspective. Yeah, I mean, because it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard for her these days. So hopefully treatment coming up soon kind of betters that. So as far as the production, though, this one was kind of interesting. I took a baritone, so that's, a guitar, an acoustic guitar that's in between a bass and a regular guitar. Just sits right in that octave in between. And, I kind of had the chorus written out for a couple months, but it took me a little bit of time to get around to finishing writing the verses. So maybe that's why the concept even feels a little different throughout as well. But really, in my mind, it all ties back together the way I just said. But yeah, so I mean, really just baritone, piano right behind me, real piano, mic'd it up. And chorus wise, I added a little bit more of regular guitar though. So, yeah, just it needed a little bit more brightness. I like the arpeggiation I was doing. But a lot of these types of things I kind of just write on the fly as far as, some of the instrumentation. I remember just kind of hacking away on the piano for a couple minutes before clicking the record button. And honestly, I thought having no metronome for all these tracks would have helped me. And I should say, for 4 of the 5 tracks, or 3 of the 5 tracks, no metronome. I thought it would have helped me, and it kind of did from a flow perspective. So yeah, workflow perspective, not having a metronome was kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the breakdown for that track. And I think I'll step on over to the next one. This one's the instrumental, called Instrumental for G. I'll proceed. Hey, give a shout too if which ones you're liking. I see there's somebody here listening. Let me know. Let me know which one's your favorite. I'm curious. All right. Dope. That's what I like to hear. Bringing somebody over to the instrumental side. I'm happy you like it, brother. This is hilarious that this is probably just family members watching this right now. But I figured I'd probably just save it afterwards. So if people are curious on lyrical content, they can check it out. The first 10 minutes is me awkwardly just sitting here though. Should I play it? Should I not? Anyways, no lyrical content, of course, to go over on this one, but production-wise, this one was interesting. I just kind of picked up a baritone one day while G was in the art room, and I just kind of joined her and started kind of writing this song. And I don't know what it is with the key. The key kind of had both of us silently weeping a subtle amount, I guess. I don't know, but it just felt kind of emotional without words. And whenever that kind of thing strikes me, I think it's worthy of capturing over a microphone for something like this. So, yeah, and that's why I couldn't come up with a better name than just Instrumental for G. But yeah. So really nothing crazy on the production side. Simplest production ever. Just EQ and compression. You know, actually, maybe I will say on the back end, it might even sound like a piano because I did throw in like some interesting reverb. Let me see if I can just. So it just kind of keeps ringing forever. And I don't know. I kind of like that. I've never really tried to throw it in and get a larger tail on a piece of audio just for the hell of it. But yeah, I like the way it rings. So, all right. I think I will hit up a puzzle piece then as the next track and kind of go over some lyrics and shit after that. Here we go.
My friends were loud in my place. You were just beyond the wall, trying to write in your space. The very next day, I saw your disgrace complaint. All it took was a sorry and a beer to embrace what we had in place. Ooh, you're so precious to me. So precious to me. Your head fits on my chest like a puzzle piece. You help me see a different side, be who I wanna be. So precious to me. So on this day that I thank fate for bringing you blindly, all our past pains amount to this, and that's fine with me. Ooh, thinking of the past, we just crossed paths, but we weren't ready to be. No, we weren't, no, we weren't. Now we're ready to be. Your head fits on my chest like a puzzle piece. You help me see a different side of me, who I wanna be. So precious to me. So precious to me.
All right. Thanks for listening, fam. Thanks, Mama. Thank you, Steve. I like, yeah, I'm happy you like the falsetto, Steve. And Ma, is that your favorite song off the album? I'm curious. Oh no. Oh, it's just my headphones. I thought I totally lost connection here. Yeah, so lyrical content though on this one. I thought this kind of was it was interesting how this kind of got pushed back, the release for all of this in general. Yeah, so it is nice. Yeah, but it got pushed back a little bit, and it's interesting how things kind of align later on, because I ended up releasing it then on the month that G and I are getting married. So yeah, lyrically, this one is basically just like a love story almost. G, like the lyrics read, of course, like, it was a Tuesday night. My friends were loud at my place. You were just beyond the wall trying to write in your space. She was trying to write, some form of paper during her master's. The very next day, I mean, everybody here that's currently watching probably, of course, knows. But yeah, I mean, that was the story. So. And then, yeah, just tried writing a catchy chorus, but at the same time, it is really meaningful because she does help me see a different side, and and lets me be who I want to be. That isn't something I've always gotten out of relationships. So like that is important to me, and yeah. And then the second verse, it's on this day that I thank fate for bringing you blindly. If all our past pains amount to this, that's fine with me. Thinking of the past, we've just crossed paths, but we weren't ready to be. Not a lot of people know that we actually did barely almost cross paths. A weird situation when G went to Fredonia. The year that she left, she lived in a house. I can't even remember the street anymore. We've talked about it. I want to say maybe Norwalk. She lived in a house and lived on the second floor, and Gabe lived the following year on the lower floor of that same house. So it's not like we really just crossed paths, but close enough to where that's kind of weird, especially given our age difference. It's not a huge age difference, but it is enough of an odd coincidence. And I know Fredonia is not a huge town, but that was, I thought that was kind of interesting. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, the breakdown lyrically of that track. As far as the production of Puzzle Piece, this was another really fun one to put together because it started out just acoustic. This one I did write acoustically and then bring to the computer, unlike Impact Sounds. Impact Sounds is really the only one that I didn't do that with. But this one I wrote a couple years ago, and then I I guess I had to add in all the other elements because I only had acoustic guitar. I never really wrote anything else for it. And that is pretty much what's on here. It's just acoustic. And, again, like I was saying, I guess in the beginning phases of this whole thing here, without having a metronome and drums to kind of keep time, it almost allowed for me to create a little bit more feeling throughout all of this, I felt. Because I could kind of swing time a little bit in my favor vocally. And then, yeah, so for the chorus, it's very Bon Iver feeling, I feel like, with how the harmonies kind of just like envelop you in some way. It just kind of take you over. Especially, I guess, like here, it's going to get loud for a second. Just brace yourself. I'll take you just right to like the back end of the chorus here, of the first chorus.
Your head fits on my chest like a puzzle piece.
Yeah, so like on something like that, I have, I want to say 4 harmonies in the back, just singing O's. And then maybe 3 harmonies encompassing, I don't know, a little bit more of the mid-range. So yeah, this one I really just wanted to be kind of dreamy in some way, because it is, it's kind of, it's a dreamy track as far as the lyrical content goes. So yeah, I don't really think, I never really realized how stripped down these songs are until I'm just trying to elaborate on the production side of it. I think this was a kind of a big release for me personally because I've really struggled with just trying to release the things that I create. I create a decent amount, but I don't release a lot because I'm a pretty horrible critic of myself. So if it's not perfect, it really wasn't meant for public ears in some capacity. So I'm trying to break away from that, and for better or worse. So that's kind of what some of this is. But I'll take you to the hip hop track that is so far from the rest of these tracks, but that's why I had to label it a bonus track. I wanted to give the listener a little bit of a prepare a little bit for some bass. Thanks, Rach. Yeah, it's I don't know. This track, if I didn't do the bonus track in there, I feel like it would have been a bit ridiculous to throw in some heavy bass, but here we are.
When you're in search of the right words, but at a loss, take a pause, fill your lungs with air, and then collect your thoughts. It's beginning to feel like we really haven't seen harder days, reflecting on rubble still and rummaging through these charred remains. I numb myself with meds today, just to parse the pain and compartmentalize these broken parts of my heart in vain. Neighbors in the street, holding hope, empty hands when sirens from an ambulance, cause fate snuck up with other plans. Oh damn, man. Even the embers of a fire will refine you in the midst of it. I'm painting a picture with broad strokes, here's the gist of it. We watch our future burn ablaze with a vibrant glow. Guess it goes to show, even fire can be cold as snow. Destiny, the world, forever at her command. We'll build you up, then break you down, my friend, just to prove she can. Be still, won't be around to catch you later. That wind won't always blow in your favor, but life is a gift to savor. So there's no catastrophe needed to truly cherish these moments in space and time together. Never a guarantee.
All right. That's the last track. I didn't write the lyrics, so I feel a little like I can't really elaborate so much on Danilo's thoughts on all of this. Yes, Mike McCune, what's going on, man? Oh my God, it's been years. Oh, thank you so much, honestly. Yes, I'm surprised you dig it, honestly. Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah, and it's not very rocky. It's not super rocky, but it's very stripped down. Like I've been saying throughout this, just super stripped down acoustic stuff, but not the last track. The last track was definitely a fun one to put together, though, with my buddy Danilo. So yeah, I mean, this track, it was kind of meant to be like a remix of my last single that I released. The last single, Embers. I mean, lyrically, that was kind of based off of, love you too, Mike. It was kind of based off of like just something I heard, a horrible story of like, a fire really taking somebody's life in somebody's home. And, it just kind of, thank you. I'm happy you dig it. Yeah, it's, this track it just kind of took a turn, and I wanted to throw a really jazzy spin on the original, because the original is kind of just acoustic, and I started submitting some of these to like playlisters, and that one, it didn't get playlisted by anybody, but they really thought it was an interesting blend between like old school and new school hip hop. And yeah, it just, I don't know. It feels, It does feel very jazzy, but I like how the bass just kind of encompasses everything. Production wise, this one was a blast to make. I always love making hip hop because I can just kind of go ape shit in some ways with some of the things I do. And like, you know, just the intro's just, you know, just. Yeah, just like little things like that. Just throwing a filter over something, and I've really enjoyed filters throughout like production, because I think it really, when you open it up like this.
When you're in search of the right words, but at a loss,
It's just it catches your attention right away as a listener. So I do find it interesting to throw it on in the beginning of a track or at the end of a track. And then as far as the bass line, that was pretty neat to make, just a simple loop. You know, there's some piano throughout this, from piano right behind me, but I kind of thought from a production standpoint, it was interesting to, I just heard this melody kind of playing, but it needed to be reversed. So there's a section in this, and let me see if I can find
jarred remains. I numb myself with meds today just to parse the pain and compartmentalize. Neighbors in the street holding hope, empty hands when sirens from an ambulance.
That na 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 na. That's a piano line that I wrote, and then I threw it in reverse, and it kind of really sucks you in kind of hard that way. Yeah, I feel like things like that feel like a sample, and that's probably why playlisters were saying it felt very old school. But then, yeah, the bass is so heavy that it feels maybe a little new school that way. I can't speak Nillo's lyrics here. I mean, I love them, but I would never want to take away from how incredible they really are. I'd elaborate on them, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You know, I guess since I have everybody here, I might as well take it back to the first one. We'll start from the top and finish strong here. Here we go. First track, Impact Sounds.
Is it finally gonna win? Is it gonna end? Am I gonna break? Is it gonna mend? Some things are better left unsaid, leaving me so stuck in my own head, stuck in my head.
I pray that love will pierce through. And even if it doesn't, I'll always be here too. Whenever you're stuck in this bed, or feeling like a prisoner in your head, when there's nothing to soothe the pain, if your world feels like it's about to break, will you be free? And try to find your focus even when you can't see. Asking yourself, will contentment ever be mine? Started feeling damn near disconnected from the divine. Be careful, because hope lies somewhere beyond the blue horizon on the skylines.
All right. Sweet. So that's the last track for the night, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, this one lyrically, this one kind of came from a different concept than the rest of them. This one is based upon basically having the, I'd say, the self-awareness, enough self-awareness to know, I suppose, that, you know, feel that work is changing me as a person, as an individual, shaping my thoughts and feelings on the world. Maybe not even liking some of the thoughts and feelings that I'm feeling. And really that's just based upon, you know, living the 9-to-5 job and, you know, kind of in a very profitability-based realm. You know, are we making money? Are we not? That type of thing. And it's not so much that it's about like this like cutthroat type of, you know, like world, the 9-to-5 world, but it is kind of about the professional realm shaping people. And yeah, so I mean, if you really can't tell that, basically, I guess the chorus is kind of how I would view that. You know, you can't see what the world did to me. That's as simply put as I could put it. Yeah, so really, and then it started to kind of take on a little bit more of a meaning the further I took it, because this was all as G was kind of finding her diagnosis through Lyme's disease, or of Lyme's disease. And it just kind of felt very unfair, especially for somebody like her that's struggled with depression her whole life and things like that. So, I mean, yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a depressing song, not meant to be like you know, it's not all about just me and my perception of some of these things, but yeah, that's pretty much it though, guys. So, production side, I guess, was this, like I kind of was saying earlier, this is the only track I wrote with and have ever written actually to this day, as the computer was my main driving force. So I didn't pick up a guitar and I was like, oh, okay, you know, let me bring this to the computer and record this. This was more so me tampering around with the little beat that you hear in the beginning, and then kind of distorting the hell out of the beat and kind of feeling like this, ooh, this is interesting, very distorted beat. And then it took on this very, lot of ambient type of reverby type of vocal take on it. And I really kind of just fell into that. And this also was interesting. I do like doing not using a bass guitar sometimes, and using like a synth bass on the chorus. Like if you listen to this song on something better than a laptop or something better than your phone, and specifically, not to get nerdy, but specifically something that's lower hertz than like 40 or 50 hertz, like it can handle and you can hear in depth, something, you know, as low as 50 or 40 hertz. Yeah, you can hear some seriously heavy sub bass on the chorus. It almost takes on a subtle EDM feel. So that's why when I was going to playlisters with this one was kind of interesting, because people were like, I don't know what to categorize this as. I love it, but I don't know what to call it. They're like, it's probably a niche thing that I don't have a playlist for right now. So I couldn't agree more with some of those comments I was receiving when submitting these to playlists. So that was an interesting experience as well, which I could maybe take into a totally different live stream another time. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and yeah, it's been fun. I plan on releasing another single in about 2 months, maybe. I want to try that, and I'm gonna be working on for the song Impact Sounds. Gonna be working with my old friend that everybody here that probably knows, Dave McRoberts, and music. He loves the drone work, so I think it feels like it could be pretty epic with a drone and like panning out and all sorts of stuff. I've got a vision for it, but yeah. So again, I love you guys. Bye.